Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be making some cheesy Chipotle shrimp tacos. I'm making like a half a recipe because it's just me and my husband, so we really don't need that many. So first thing I'm going to start with is a half of a bell pepper, half of an onion, one jalapeno, one tomato, and I use 2 cloves of garlic chopped up. I will be using about a half of this little can of the Chipotle peppers. I will be using mozzarella. I just bought pre-shredded for this video. So I will be using mozzarella to top it off. And then I will be using about 3/4 of the cream cheese. You will also need about a half a stick of butter, or a full stick of butter. This recipe does typically call for like 4 or 5 slices of bacon, but I will not be using bacon, and I will be using about 15 to 20 shrimp. Stay tuned. Okay, so now I have cleaned and deshelled and peeled all my shrimp. So those are ready to go. Now you're going to want to mix your cream cheese. And we're going to do about 2/3. 2/3 to 3/4 is fine. I'm going to use about half of the can of the Chipotle peppers. We're just going to mash them all together. Okay, so now that that's all blended together, we'll go ahead and start with the vegetables. We're going to start with your 3/4 to 2/3 stick of butter or margarine. And we're going to let that just simmer all the way down until it's melted. So I am going to use a medium heat, and we're going to start, first we're going to use the onion. And I should have put this according to how I was going to use it, but that's okay. And we're going to go ahead and just sweat those onions down until they are somewhat tender. Okay, now that you have your onions sweated down so they're going to be somewhat tender, you want to go ahead and mix in your bell peppers. And we're going to do the same thing with those. Just sweat them down. You want to keep stirring them so that they don't start to stick to the bottom of your pan. Just keeping an eye on the fact that they're not burning, that your stove is not on too high. Okay, now that those bell peppers and onions are looking nice and tender, we're going to go ahead and mix in your jalapenos. I might catch a few tomatoes in there, but that's going to be what we put in last. And go ahead and put in your garlic as well. And same thing, we're going to go ahead and just sweat those down until they're nice and tender. Okay, let's go ahead and put in our last vegetable ingredient, and that is going to be our tomatoes. And I did use one whole vine ripe tomato for this recipe. ahead and give that a nice little stir. Those should not take long to sweat down at all. Now you're going to go ahead and mix in your shrimp. And you're going to cook these until they just turn a light pink color. Now that your shrimp are a nice pink color, you don't want to overcook them, so just make sure that they are pink through and through. You're going to go ahead and mix in your chipotle and cream cheese sauce. Go ahead and put in about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of salt. And just mix it all together. Now you're going to either use an oven-safe pan, or you're going to go ahead and swap it over to an oven-safe dish if you do not have a pan that can go in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and transfer mine to an oven-safe dish. Get all the sauce. Now you're going to cover it with your mozzarella. You could use the Mexican version of the queso. I can't remember the name, but there is a Mexican queso that is very similar. Just give it a nice thick coat. And I do have my oven on preheated to 350, so but we're going to use the broiler to melt this cheese. Now that your shrimp are in the oven, you want to go ahead and heat up your tortilla pan or your comal. Every Hispanic household has one where you warm up your tortillas. So I'm going to use a corn tortilla from the local carniceria. You could use flour tortillas or corn tortillas, whatever you like. Okay, so I have taken it out of the broiler. As you can see, the cheese is nice and crispy. Super good. Let's go ahead and put one together. This is super cheesy. And you could put 3 to 4 in each one. Bring it to the light. You want something in the floor? These are my cheesy chipotle shrimp tacos, and I hope you enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe.